Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, we're going to be talking about money, mindset, and business with a leading international expert on confidence. That's next on the Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
They always say that great basketball players have confidence. They can see the ball going into the hoop from the moment it releases from their hand. To talk about confidence today, a leading international expert, Daniel Gomez, a good friend. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm honored. I'm excited. I woke up early just to be here.
Well, I got to tell you, he's a confidence expert, and to wear this jacket, you have got to be confident. I mean, that is a wonder. That makes a pow.
Yeah, well, just it's a representation of who I am. I like to take risk.
Yes.
And in business and in life, if we don't take risks, you're not going to win, Jeff. And I learned that at a young age. You gotta take risks. You gotta get out there. You gotta get out of your comfort zone, and you gotta be knowing that not if I'm going to fail, but when I fail, how fast is my bounce back going to come?
Wow. Well, I got to compliment you on, you are a prolific author. Now, 3 books. We've got 2 in front of us. I wrote one, and I swore I'd never read another one. It took so much time. All right, tell us about the 2 books here on the desk.
Well, Speak Your Way to Success is just, I love to help people. Mm-hmm. You know, when 3 years ago when my wife was diagnosed with breast cancer, I really got lost. And I'm going to be honest, I lost my confidence. But I realized that there was a lot of things that I was doing right. And at that moment, I decided to resign from corporate America like yourself and start my own corporation. And then really just pouring into people. As I told the world I'm going to become a motivational keynote speaker, they thought I was crazy. They said, you're Mexican. You're from the South Side of San Antonio, right? I was like, well, let's see. And now they're like, wow. I've shared the stage with Les Brown, wow. Tom Bilyeu, Alex from Constant Contact. Next year, I'll be on stage with Grant Cardone. And I say that humbly because no one was really there to pour into me and really teach me the business side of it. So in Speak Your Way to Success, our Sticker Shock Speaking Academy, we train speakers how to just really have a speaking business. And then in Sticker Shock, this is a book about sales. It doesn't matter what you sell. The principles in here in Sticker Shock, it's the day you realize you're worth millions. Most account executive and sales professionals, they don't succeed because they have a low self-worth. And the day you realize you're worth millions is the day you really start making those phone calls, following up, because your self-worth, your self-esteem. And I have a saying, your life, your business will rise once your self-worth arises.
Wow. We've got a copy of your first book. Let's go ahead and show that now. You Were Born to Fly. Love that title. Where did that come from?
You know, just growing up and really not understanding what mindset was about, right? Just letting life live me. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that there was so much potential. And we were all born for greatness. We were all born for success. And we've been taught by marketing, by just commercials, by billboards that we see on the highway, to be a certain, just, they kind of shape our image. Well, the subtitle is Be the Best You, Be Original. Because we were all born to fly, but you're not going to fly until you're who you are. I can't be Jeff. I can't be anybody but Daniel. But so many times we try to mimic and copy other people, that when you realize that you are greatness in the making, that you were born to fly, there's nothing that you're not going to be scared to try, because the moment you realize everything that everybody needs to succeed, yourself included, Jeff, it's already inside of us.
Wow.
We just don't realize that. And the moment you do is the moment you spread your wings and you don't care, because you know that sooner or later that undercurrent's going to come and the wind's going to take you.
Wow. I love it. I love it. You are an amazing speaker. I've had a chance to watch some of your videos online. We're going to show one of them right now.
National speaker Hi, George and McKenzie here with New York Live. We just finished coming out of a great presentation from Daniel Gomez. It was very exciting, very inspiring, high energy. He talked about having the right mindset, how you can use that to be successful in anything that you do.
You were created to live an extraordinary life, and local author Daniel Gomez's new book offers inspiration for becoming the best version of yourself.
I am a great leader. I'm an exceptional leader. I will never give up on myself. I will always grow. I will always develop. I was born to fly.
I highly recommend them that you hire him, that you get him to speak to your employees, and that way he can take the mindset of your employees to a whole new level and therefore creating better results.
Growth is intentional. You have to be intentional about your growth. What got you here today is not going to get you to the next level of your life tomorrow.
We're with New York Life and Nightlife Securities, and we brought Daniel in, did an amazing job with our team. If you're looking for somebody to bring in to change mindset with your current employees, I would highly recommend Mr. Gomez to come and speak with you.
He has over 20 years of experience. He's not only a motivational speaker, he does have processes and systems that he puts in place. He's worked with the U.S. government.
We should never disrespect people or talk down to people because of our title. Traps, I call them excuses. I have a saying, right? Excuses are for losers.
And if you're not progressing, you're regressing.
Wow. Very impressive. And you speak about confidence, and the pandemic, I think, shook all of our confidence. So what words of wisdom do you give to the person who's out there struggling right now? They had it together before the pandemic, but now they're starting to lose it.
Well, it's funny you said that because my business actually doubled this past 6 months, and I tell them this. I tell them, look, being still, being frozen is not going to help you. You might not have all the answers, but you cannot pivot with the same old mindset that got you to where you're at, because a new version of yourself is dying to come out. You have to see yourself as a caterpillar. You were a caterpillar in this last season of life, but now it's time to transform and to mutate into that greatness that's inside of you. And the moment you get into that creative side of your thinking, that creative side of your mind, the new ideas are going to flow, and you're going to pivot with the creative mindset that you need for this time.
Yes.
And if you would have told me in the beginning of the year that I was going to have a top 200 podcasts in the country, I wouldn't have known it. If you were going to tell me that I was going to have one of the top leading speaking academies in the world, I wouldn't have believed it. But we were the only live speaking academy in the country, and we had 25 speakers come in from all over the world, and just they didn't want to leave.
Wow.
Because how can I say this? Is when you associate with people like yourself, that people that want to win, that want to give back, people sense that. And it's time that we raise our vibration of living, our energy of living. So I tell you this, keep moving forward. You don't have to have all the answers. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, but just as long as you keep walking forward, everything's going to work out. Because I didn't have all the answers back in February, March when all this started. But I can tell you, if I would have stayed still and not done anything and been in fear, didn't have the confidence, first of all, in myself and in my creator, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now. And the simple fact that we kept walking forward, I'm here with you. Think about that. Think about that.
Thank you. Well, I'm honored to have you. You mentioned your podcast. We're going to show your podcast page because you've had a chance to interview really some brilliant minds out there. Tell me more about your show and what kind of guests do you like to have on your show?
Well, I've been real fortunate just being one of the up-and-coming top speakers in the country and the world. I've been able to have Forbes Riley. Forbes Riley is the queen of infomercials. She sold over $2 billion, and she was with Jack LaLanne. And just because the biggest mistake we make in business, Jeff, is that we leave that 9-to-5 job. We leave it right here, right? We leave it physically, but then we come in here with the same old mindset of an employee, and our business never takes off because we think like an employee instead of seeing yourself as a very successful businessman or a very successful businesswoman. Because until you raise that self-image of yourself, get out of that cocoon, yes. Right? Out of that, right? From the caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly, when you fly, that's when you're going to excel.
Well, Daniel, there's a lot of people watching this right now who are saying to themselves, well, it's fine if I'm Daniel. It's fine if I'm a world-renowned speaker and trainer and confidence expert, but I'm an introvert. I can't do what you do. I can't get away with this jacket. What do you say to the introverts out there watching?
I'm going to say this. My wife was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer 3 years ago. Biggest introvert there is. Now, next week, 10/10/20, she's leading our women's conference, Finding Your Inner Beauty. And this is what I'm going to tell you is because my wife was the biggest introvert, but when she had a double mastectomy, she lost her beauty. She had to look inside. So that introvert right now, they need to look inside themselves in the same way my wife found her inner beauty. Now we have a joke, Jeff. True joke. She's a full-blown introvert. I tell her, give me 5 minutes. She's like, 5 minutes? Yeah. Give me 5 minutes of silence because she talks so much now, right? So I say that because even if you're an introvert, you can learn and develop the skills to help you become an amazing author, to help you develop. You got to be intentional. Growth, that's the biggest thing we forget, Jeff, is growth is intentional. Growth is intentional.
So she would watch you on stage and say, I could never do what Daniel does, and now she's going to be doing it.
She's going to be leading the conference here in 7-8 days, 10/10/20. And the beautiful thing about it is with the pandemic, we just bought a new house here a couple of months ago by the grace of God. So she has her own office now. But in our old house, we literally work side by side. And I say that because she heard me, right? She hears me when I make my calls, when I follow up, when I make my sales calls, and when everything that I'm doing. And she memorizes what I talk about.
Wow.
So I say that because she just called me. I've been here in Dallas the last 2 or 3 days, and she goes, hey, hon, guess what? I got us another vendor. She goes, I go, you did? She goes, yeah, I sold it. I just remember what you said, and I said it. Because everybody wants to support a good cause.
Yes.
But I want your audience to remember this. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And that's what the great Zig Ziglar of Dallas, Texas said. You don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great. And the competency comes, right? The competency comes the more you try something and you do it. And once you get that competency, that's where the confidence kicks in, Jeff, and nothing can stop you.
Wow.
Nothing can stop you.
We need to bottle this energy and let Snapple know about it because we got a best-selling energy drink right here. We're going to put your website up to end this segment. You've been an amazing guest. DanielGomezSpeaker.com is the website. Get a hold of Daniel for all your speaking and coaching needs, and of course, pick up his best-selling books. Daniel, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
Awesome.
I appreciate it.
Okay, and that's it for now. We'll see you next time.